All right. So welcome, everybody. This is our first podcast of the GALactic Podcast. We're super excited. My name's Lauren, and I'm with my cousin,
Andrea.
And we are the GALactic Podcast. So each week we will do a one topic kind of discussion on anything Star Wars related. So that could be prequels or sequels. That could be anything. So I hope you. Yep, news. We're gonna do some breaking news today. So buckle up. And let's have some fun.
Not spoilers.
No.
What do they call theories?
Theories, yes. Theories is one of our ones that I think we're both excited to talk about. Because you got some crazy ones. I will say that. But I'm excited to talk about them. And let's hear what everybody else has to say about them. Okay, so what we're first going to talk about, though, so San Diego Comic-Con has come and went. And there was a little bit of news out of there. So the big one, I think, is the new comic that's coming out for Kylo Ren. So Charles Soule, who did the Vader comic that
through Marvel.
Yep.
Yeah.
You read that?
Yes.
Okay, so you've read it. So, which is great. It's
big fan.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Mm-hmm. Phenomenal series. Charles Soule is amazing. So it was announced that he is doing a Rise of Kylo Ren 4-issue miniseries.
Nice.
Comes out in December. So I think it's going to come out prior to Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, wow.
Right, though?
Yeah.
So my initial thought is awesome.
Yeah.
Charles Soule, fantastic. Like, I can't wait to see what he does with that, with that information as far as how Kylo became Kylo. Like, that's the story I want to know.
Right.
I mean, I don't know how you feel about that, but, like, we don't know anything. Like, why did he... We know very little.
Right.
Why he went to the dark side. I mean, there's hints.
There's hints.
So
maybe,
what I mean,
he hated his dad a little bit.
I mean, he had some daddy issues apparently. That was unfortunate for Han Solo, but he did have some daddy issues apparently. But I think me personally, I think it's gonna take place probably before TFA. I think they can't really do anything post or pre.
Right.
I mean, unless they do something, but they really can't now. I mean, they can't. That has to be all before TFA. So, I mean, what we know from Last Jedi, he was with Luke at some point. Mm-hmm. He fell. Luke tried to destroy him, but didn't, which was good, obviously.
He pulled the house down on him.
Literally. and then literally we don't know what happened after that.
No.
So I think my hope is that's
do you think it's
what's
going to be a pickup right from there, or do you think maybe a little bit before? I hope a little bit before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a little bit before that would be cool. Just to kind of...
Luke knew that, Snoke was already changing in his mind, I'd like to get a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that would be good. I think that would be cool if we got a little bit of, what was going on as far as in Kylo's head, was how deep was, Snoke in there. Clearly he was, but, we don't know how much.
He could bridge his mind to other people.
Yeah.
So he was in there.
Yeah. So, I think that it will take place. That would be cool if it took place right after kind of those events. Like, he left Luke, and then maybe he went straight to Snoke. I don't know. I mean, we really don't know. So, yeah, that would be cool if it took place even, like you're saying, a little bit before that, and we see, him training, Luke training him, too. That would be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, because I think back to the Vader comic, and just what you learned out of there from, how he, his relationship with Tarkin, you never really understood that.
Dude, that was my...
Yeah, just from watching the trilogies, you never thought that Tarkin had that big of an influence or power over Vader or anything like that. It seemed like the hierarchy was, Palpatine, Tarkin, Vader. I could be completely wrong.
Yeah.
But just those small informations just, make me love.
That whole Tarkin, run in that Vader, oh my God.
It was awesome.
He was hunting him. How ridiculous. And, Vader was like, yeah, you're going to hunt me. That's what we're doing. Tarkin's like, okay. Let's do it. Okay, that's what's happening right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think this is going to be it's going to be an interesting series just because, it's kind of what a lot of people want. We don't know Kylo's story. We know very little of what happened after he left Luke.
I have theories.
What's your theory? Go ahead.
No, can't.
Okay, we're gonna share it. Okay, we're gonna share it. All right. That's a different theories episode. I like it. All right, no, that's fair. So yeah, I'm definitely getting it. Like that will be a for sure buy for me when it comes out. Like I will.
Agreed.
I will. Yeah, we're getting that for sure. So any last kind of interesting, kind of just last minute thoughts on the whole Kylo series? What you're hoping for? Any hopes or?
Just some awesome artwork.
Yeah. I'm wondering if it's going to be the same guy that did the Vader one, too. That'd be cool. Because that artwork is
amazing.
Yeah, in that whole series. Okay, so now the other big thing that we did, or they did, not we, they did at San Diego Comic-Con was introduce a new trooper. So now you haven't seen this. So this is Andrea's first look at the new, what is called a Sith trooper. So, like, it's kind of ominous as far as the name. Like, it can mean many things.
What does that mean?
Right.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. What does it mean, Andrea? Like, Sith trooper.
There's no Jedi troopers, so
Nope.
How can you have a Sith trooper?
Like, where? I mean, as far as we knew, the Sith are dead too. All right, so here I'm going to show you the picture of what they look like. So,
Whoa, nice.
right?
Yeah, I'm digging the red. Reminds me of the Imperial Guard. Is that what it's called?
But yeah, Imperial or the I think in Last Jedi it was the Praetorian.
Yes.
The Praetorian guards in Snoke's throne room. What I like, and what I first noticed is the helmets. So the helmets are like the clone troopers. Like it's a very subtle throwback to those.
Yes.
So it's not a First Order or a Empire, like an Empire stormtrooper. Like that's a very kind of old, to me, it's a very throwback to the Clone Wars.
I'm hoping they have those, I don't know what kind of guns they are, but...
This is, let me give you that other picture.
This guy I work with called them the Thwap Guns because when he opens them up, it does like that Thwap sound.
That's solid. All right, let me see if I can get that picture of the, because they had a whole toy. Oh, here we go. Okay, there it is. Hold on. So they showed, like, in the packaging for the toys. Here we go.
Oh, yeah. There's a Thwap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thwap. That's canon now. I'm making that canon right now. So, but look at the, like, how legit his, like, the weaponry is. Like, the guy's about to do some stuff, for sure.
Yeah. It doesn't scream Sith.
Fair. So just the red?
It just screams...
Like, I think I like the red.
Yeah.
Very cool. I dig that. I dig the helmet. I really dig that helmet because of the clone,
too.
The clone trooper stuff. The weaponry is pretty cool though. I mean, look at that. Like that's pretty serious.
That is super serious.
Like that one weapon that looks like the one from Last Jedi. The guy, one of the Praetorian guards, had those like double-bladed swords. That kind of looks like that. But here's my so they're called Sith troopers. There was a placement card at San Diego Comic-Con with what it like said. Mm-hmm. And initially, there's rumors of what it said, but something along the lines of they follow like a dark, or their powers are kind of from like a ancient, dark lord maybe.
Okay.
And I'm paraphrasing, so please people don't at me on Twitter. But so I think what they are or what they're going to be for me, I think, is related to Snoke. Because we know Palpatine.
Palpatine.
They're going to be Palpatine's like elite dudes, I think.
I like that.
Like I don't know how many of these troopers there are. I mean, they didn't really say. Obviously, they're not going to tell us, but like, I think they're going to be Palpatine's boys. Whether they're protecting him, I don't know, but I think they're going to be like his guys, like elite. Like, I need you to do this mission. Like that's right.
I wonder what's the innards of them. Are they clones? Are they?
That's a good question.
Kind of really like the Finn type trooper where they're raised, or maybe they're someone who's very strong with the Force. Hint, hint.
Right. I mean, that could be. That's been thrown around. Like you really don't know. But yeah, I think definitely something to do with Palpatine. It's got to be something to do with Palpatine.
What if they're all Palpatines?
Clones? Palpatine clones? Let's save this for theories talk. But I like it, though. I mean, I think they're cool. Like, do I think they're going to be like a major part of the movie? No. It's cool marketing. I mean, that's pretty much branding, marketing, toys. That's probably why they put it out there and at San Diego Comic-Con and, whatnot. So, I mean...
Visual is really great.
No, visually, I think it's cool with the red. I dig the red. I mean, some people are saying that there's just a trooper, like, in red armor. Like, okay, I get that. Like, you could do that with any stormtrooper, change the colors, but, like...
Rarely does that happen.
Right. We don't really see... I mean, the only other... The ones I remember is that in Rogue One, the guys that were with Krennic, the guys all in black. And I can't remember the name of those guys had names too, but like usually we're just used to the white.
Yeah.
White stormtroopers. So I'm a big fan.
I like it.
But I like the name. The name is kind of what's driving everybody to be like, what do they do?
Yeah.
Who are they working for, or who are they protecting? Could it be Kylo? Could it be Kylo? I mean, maybe. He might. We don't know, right? I mean, that's the thing.
Poor performance in The Last Jedi.
Fair.
I'm talking about, he got his butt kicked.
Yeah.
Really.
Right. No, that's fair.
He needs a...
So, I mean, could these guys could be related to, like, they could be Kylo's boys, too. We don't know. We assume, my assumption is that the Knights of Ren are going to be his crew, right?
Will that flashback ever resurface from The Force Awakens? Will we see, where that falls? Are those his boys?
Yeah. That's kind of what everybody thinks. I mean, we'll see. Yeah. But I like them. I think they're visually, like I said, visually cool. It's going to be interesting to see what they do in The Rise of Skywalker. So, but I dig it. Okay. So, for this episode, our main topic, what we're talking about, is our favorite kind of moments in Star Wars, or moments that we've connected with as fans.
Yeah, what made us fans.
What made us kind of jump into this whole franchise, this whole universe of Star Wars. So, I got like 4.
Yeah, I have about 4.
Okay. All right. Want to go with your list
what
first?
What should I mean, am I ranking these?
No. Yeah, it's not really a rank. We'll just kind of like what touched us the most, and then kind of what our favorite.
I would like to start with the beginning. When I first fell in love with Star Wars. Okay. I guess like a little backstory on that. I've been a Star Wars fan since, we'll say, 1986 is when the first I could ever remember watching Star Wars, experiencing Star Wars, all that stuff.
I remember when we were younger, going over to your house and playing with the action figures in that super dope Vader
helmet.
Yes.
The
Vader
part of Vader.
The Vader's helmet.
Kept all the little characters in the action figures.
Yeah, the action figures.
Yeah, and I remember those were Return of the Jedi. There were a lot of Ewoks in there and stuff like that. Yeah. But for me, the scene that I remember very clearly from my childhood would have to be the trash compactor scene.
Okay.
And I was like thinking about this. It's like that first time, number one, Han's never really met Leia.
Yep.
And so it's the first time you get to see the 4 of them, Chewie, Han, Luke, Leia, interact with each other in close quarters. And it's kind of like this dire situation as well, too.
Yeah.
So you get comedy out of Han, and it's, you get a little bit of panic out of Luke. But what I found super amazing was they just met each other, but they already had this connection of like needing to help each other. Like when Luke disappears, Han kind of like frantically looks for him, and he barely knew the guy. What did he have a stake in this? So I like that scene. I like that the droids interact in that scene as well. You get to see them in a kind of a comedic way.
Like it.
Yeah. And you really don't think they're gonna make it. I mean, think about it.
It's true.
It gets pretty close.
Yeah. I mean, without 3PO
and R2.
I don't think they make it out of that.
Yeah.
So that trash compactor.
That's like my favorite. If I wanted to introduce someone to Star Wars, if I just had to do it in a scene, I would do it in that scene.
I like it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite parts in A New Hope is when Han starts running after the stormtroopers.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Every time I just die laughing, because when he's like, and he sees the entire like platoon of stormtroopers. His face is like ah, and then he starts running off. And then you go to Chewie, and Chewie's like just looking at him and runs past Chewie. That's one of my favorite scenes in A New Hope. But yeah, trash compactor. I like that. I never even thought of it like that way.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that a lot. All right, what's a couple others? What else you got?
So I'm a huge fan of the Phantom Menace. Like huge. I love it.
We're prequelists around here. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say 100%, but
that's fair. Yeah.
Phantom Menace is is high on my list, and I believe why I fell in love with it so hard. It was the first time we got to experience real lightsaber action.
Like it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So one of my favorite scenes is where Darth Maul and Qui-Gon Jinn are fighting out on Tatooine. Tatooine.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not Naboo. It's Tatooine.
Yeah, Tatooine when they first.
Yeah. When they're coming back.
I like that.
Qui-Gon's coming back with Anakin, and Anakin drop, and then all of a sudden it's just they go after it.
So what's funny is that I would always love that scene. I always go to the final one.
Yeah,
with Obi-Wan and yeah. I like that.
I like that too. I like that's one of my favorites because the music in it is absolutely phenomenal with the opera and all that behind it, just amazing.
So good.
But that one where all of a sudden he tells Anakin to drops, Maul comes out of nowhere, and you just get to see a lightsaber battle and how you always pictured it, not just these little clunks, but now like some fast action turns, stuff like that. Red versus green.
Yeah. Qui-Gon had the green.
Dark versus light.
I like it.
The sand of Tatooine.
Where it all started. I like it.
It's a great scene.
Thinking about that, that makes a lot of sense because that's probably our first interaction of, like you're saying, like that fast, quick lightsaber dueling. Before that, you saw, Luke and Vader in Return of the Jedi. Decent. Better than, obviously...
Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
And that wasn't that bad.
Yeah, that wasn't that bad, but obviously way better than Vader, Obi-Wan, and A New Hope.
That was nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. But even in Empire Strikes Back, it was like...
Yeah. Just a lot of, like, upper...
Yeah.
Hitting.
Yeah. Return of the Jedi, you got a little more of the fast-paced, aggressive dueling. But
even some force pushes and stuff like that.
Yeah. But with the prequels, though, I agree. And then even that scene, you see how, like, fast and how quick these Jedi and Sith could be with those lightsabers. It's ridiculous.
I'm a huge Qui-Gon fan.
I love it.
I feel like he was let go a little too quickly.
You got to read Masters and Apprentice.
Okay. No, I haven't read that.
Okay, so that's a book. Well, that's a book I got to get you to read. That's a good one. Because that's Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan pre Phantom Menace.
Nice.
Like the adventure they did. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's good. It's real good.
I like that.
All right, what's your next one?
Okay, so The Force Awakens.
TFA, love it.
Yes. So I remember sitting in the theater and like grabbing very strongly onto my seat when Rey says to Kylo, "You're afraid because you'll never be as strong as Darth Vader."
It's a powerful scene.
It is. And all of a sudden she kind of goes into what she's meant to be, and he sees that and he gets scared. I think the presentation and the acting of it is phenomenal. I say phenomenal a lot.
It's a good word.
Is it?
It's a solid word. We'll go with it.
All right. But I felt like that was got the ball rolling.
So I think what I liked about that scene is, it shows how powerful Rey was without even knowing it.
Yeah.
And what if you read it hints the novelization of TFA, and even in the Last Jedi novelization, it hints and kind of says that what Rey did was obviously went into Kylo's mind, and with that she opened up all of her not abilities, I don't want to call it abilities, but opened up her kind of force
awakenedness.
Yeah, basically, no, you're right. Basically that awoken her, and that's how she's able to do things. Like, people are like, well, she couldn't, how can she do this and that? Like, that's how she did it. Like, is it specifically said in the movie, like, line? No, but that's how it happened. That's how she was able to do some of the things, like tell the stormtrooper, like,
right, to
let her go.
And what's amazing about that is she got that information from stories that she heard about Luke and Han and those battles, because those were tales that people were telling around about that.
Myths, as she said. Myths.
Yeah, myths. Yeah. Love that
good scene. Yeah, that is a really good scene. I mean, that's a good introduction of kind of those two characters and their interaction, and which would even be more so in Last Jedi, in my opinion. Like, that's probably one of my favorite parts of Last Jedi, which we'll talk about eventually, is those two
bridged.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite stuff. That's one of my favorite things that was introduced.
Are you a Reylo fan?
I am. Like, not. Again, I don't want to go too deep into that because that's a good topic, but I am a fan of the idea of Reylo and what it means. It means different for people, but from person to person. But I do love that there's a deep connection there. There is a connection between those two. That's just my opinion.
That is for another episode.
That is another episode. All right, what else?
That might be like a 3-hour episode.
That and Ben Demption, it would be a 3-hour podcast for sure. All right, any more you got?
Yep, I got one more. So let's see, we covered trilogy, prequels, sequels. I don't know, what do you call? See, I'm not like this in the know of Star Wars lingo. I just kind of know how I feel about the movies. So what is like Solo and Rogue One? What are those called?
They're like standalones. Offshoots, I guess. Standalones, yeah.
So I feel like super nervous saying this because I feel like the best Star Wars scene of all time is in Rogue One, is in a standalone movie.
I like it, though.
And it is when Darth Vader gets on that ship and it's black and the red lightsaber comes out and you finally get to see. Now, granted, like if you read the comics or some of the other books, you understand the aggression and the power of Darth Vader.
Yeah.
But this was the first time that you actually got to visually see it, and it's amazing. Just annihilating a whole group of people.
It was crazy.
Yeah, and then you could feel that he was angry, he just wasn't, I'm super powerful and I can blow through people. He was
He was on a mission.
He was on a mission.
Yep.
He wanted that thing.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah. In that scene, I think, I'd have to look into it again, but I'm pretty sure that scene was added later on.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I think it was added later on to kind of make that.
I don't think it made the movie. I won't say that.
Oh,
I think the movie on its own was phenomenal.
I agree.
Again, that word. There it is.
There's phenomenal.
We'll do a
drinking game for phenomenal.
Let me sip my coffee because I said phenomenal again.
But no, I think, I didn't make or break the movie, but it's that scene where you went out of the theater like, wow.
Wow. Yeah. Because I remember, I think I said to you once, I want like a Vader story, like a standalone Vader story.
Movie.
And you said to me, they're all Vader stories. Like all of them are giving you the story of him.
I mean, in a way, yeah.
Yeah, and they are, truly.
Yeah.
But I wanted the progression of his from Anakin to Vader, Lord Vader, is what I really am interested in.
Which I think that's why I really love that comic book.
Yeah,
because I think it did such a good job at telling that story.
Yeah,
like it was right after. That's what I really loved about it. It took place right after Revenge of the Sith, like literally after that end scene. That's where you jump into that.
Scene,
yeah.
The famous
The new scene. You see, like, that's what happened to him.
I think that scene's even in the comic, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's kind of where it sets you up for that. So that's,
which is good because, I want to see Vader in a different light than,
Yeah. I'm okay with it being in a comic too. I know people are like, "Well, I want it in like a TV series." I'm okay with it. I like it.
Yeah.
Give me other mediums. Give me a comic.
I like that.
Yeah, I do too. Mm-hmm. Okay, so for me, I think my first moment has to be in A New Hope when Luke Skywalker ignites the lightsaber.
Yes.
Like, first of all, I wanted one. And I'm an adult and I want one still. And I was this close was this close to buying one. I went to Star Wars Celebration in Chicago. I was so close to buying one.
You have to.
I was close. they had them on display, and I picked one up, and I was holding it. And I'm like, God, I want this, but my wallet said otherwise. So I had to like kindly put it down and thank the lady for letting me touch it and kind of wield it a little bit. But that scene, I think it was just as a kid, and even as an adult, but as a kid, you just look at that weapon, and you're like, dude, what is that?
Yeah.
Like, it was like, what?
Remember when we used to use those Fisher-Price plastic golf clubs as lightsabers? Yeah, there was a green one and like a...
Yep.
Was there a red one, I think? Yeah.
It was either red or... Yeah, I think it was.
Orange or something, and we used those as lightsabers.
Like, that's how you rolled back in the day. That's playing right there. Finding whatever you could use. But that scene just like, it sets you up to like see like, dude, what is this all about? Because up until then it was a cool story, you know, but then you add that kind of like wow factor or that weapon, and you're just like,
and the sound of it.
Right. And then, the sound. I mean, that's iconic.
Yes.
But then you hear what Obi-Wan says in that scene, like, you know, thousands of generations, you know, of Jedi and all that. You're just like, what is he, like, you're just immediately thinking, like, I want it. Like, I want more. What is that?
Yes.
Like, so that's one of my favorite, I think one of my favorite scenes, is just that introduction of that lightsaber. Like you're saying, that iconic sound of it is just...
Yeah.
It's amazing. My second one has to be, and again, this isn't ranking or anything, but I think the Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin fight in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
That's probably, hands down, my personal favorite duel.
I don't know if I would say favorite duel, but again, that end part where Obi-Wan says, "You are my brother."
Oh God, it gets me every time.
And he says, "I hate you." I love
the "I hate you."
I love that part.
Every time, and I know people were kind of like, "Oh, Hayden Christensen, blah 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 blah." He nailed that.
I thought he nailed it too.
He nailed it, and so did Ewan McGregor.
Oh yeah. He's
like give me an Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series.
I would love
sitting in Tatooine doing shit. Like just give me. I just want to know. Like what was he doing?
What did he do?
I want to know. I really think we're gonna get that series. I hope so. But yeah, that whole fight, like just the emotion and knowing, like if you watch the Clone Wars, that TV series,
how
animated,
they were.
Right. And just you kind of put that in perspective with that, like it's just like, oh, okay, like that's
huge.
It's emotion, and it's you know, they were literally brothers, and you know, to say I hate you and to say that, you know, I loved you, and that's just, I loved it. That's probably one of my favorite scenes of all time. I think that duel is one of my favorites. I think my next one is Rogue One and Jyn Erso's speech.
Yes.
To get everybody we need to do something. Like this is serious. Like this is my dad is telling us we need to stop this whole production of what they're doing. And, you know, for her to, even as like a female fan, to see a female character be that important in that scene. And then for people to rally around her, and then that started the whole Rogue Squad calls.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's probably one of my favorite scenes in Rogue One, is that whole, you know, rally the forces, like we need to stop them.
Yeah. What did she say? We just do the next thing, or
so that's when they're
on to the next one.
And then that's when they're going. Yep, that's when they're going to Scarif. Yeah, that whole like. That third act of Rogue One is probably one of my favorites. But yeah, when she's trying to tell them to we got to do something, and then that's one of my favorite speeches. And then, you know, you see Mon Mothma and Bail kind of like, they understood her, but they couldn't, they had to kind of go with the majority, but they had to kind of go against her. Yeah. You know, but they knew what she was saying was right. Everybody did, really.
Right.
And then they, you know, Cassian was like, yep, let's go. We're gonna go do it. And they went to Scarif and they got the Death Star plans. But that's one of my favorite scenes of all time.
I also like it because it's kind of nostalgic, seeing that room and the Death Star. Did you see that in that scene? Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you said, what was it, Mothma?
Yeah, Mon Mothma and Bail. Bail. Like just seeing those kind of iconic characters. Who was our guy?
Admiral Akbar. Was he in that scene?
That's Admiral Raddus.
Yeah.
He was the one that was with Jyn the entire time. Like he was like, yeah, we need to go. Yeah. And he's the one that they took the forces. Yeah, gotcha. Admiral Raddus. So that was so that's one of mine is Jyn Erso's speech.
I like that.
So I think in the new series, the trilogy, the sequel trilogy, I think my favorite has to be the throne room scene in Last Jedi. I mean, I remember sitting in the theater first time and just being like blown away.
Visually stunning.
Yes. Visually you couldn't, like, that's just awesome. Like for what Ben did to kill Snoke
was awesome.
And then you just see Rey's hand go up, catch it. Oh. And then they just turn around, go back to back, and fight those Praetorian guards. Love it. Like, I could watch that scene all day, every day. Yeah. And then one of my favorite parts in that whole sequence is when she throws a saber and he catches it and pops it on and just goes right through the Praetorian guard's head. That's one of my favorite scenes. So, I mean, those are just some of my, there's just so much in that whole sequence, and then at the end, you think Ben turns, but he doesn't. He stays Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like emotion in that scene as well. So I think that's why it's one of my favorites.
Now, do you get disappointed that there wasn't like a lightsaber on lightsaber battle?
No, I'm okay with it. Like, I know people are like, oh, I wish there was a fight or a saber to lightsaber duel or whatever. I'm okay with it. Like, I didn't need it in that moment. Mm-hmm. I think the moment it's of them teaming up, that's what made that scene for me.
Yeah.
Because up until that moment when he pulled that lightsaber and killed Snoke, you really didn't know what Kylo was thinking.
No.
I mean, you kind of have a hint that he wasn't when Snoke was telling him I was the one that bridged your minds. Kylo was like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
He kind of figured out he's been playing me the entire time. So, but you kind of still were like, is he going to do it though? What's he going to do?
Or maybe was he thinking, maybe me and Rey don't have this strong connection that I thought we had,
Right.
Maybe I'm going to turn on her.
Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's probably one of my favorite scenes. And I think my, so let's see, I did the prequels, sequels. I think, I'm trying to think, my last one is probably, I'll have to say, Force Awakens, and when we meet Rey for the first time, and she's in that she's in the Super Destroyer.
Star Destroyer?
Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
When she's scavenging for stuff. That was just, I don't know why, that whole, the music, the kind of just her, this is her first introduction into that character, and you see her in this old beat up, Star Destroyer, and you're like, what?
It's a junkyard.
Yeah, and you don't even know how that happened. I mean, obviously reading the Aftermath books, you know what it's from, but seeing that visually was cool, and just how big that freaking
gosh, I know.
It's huge. So then she rides down the dune on a little thing. That's one of the cool scenes for me. It's just, as a female fan, you see another female character and just, kind of put up there on a pedestal. Not a pedestal, I don't want to say that, but put on equal level of importance, because it's not just Luke Skywalker, it's Rey. Rey is the new hero. Yeah. And I love it.
I like all yours. They all are on these moments where characters are transitioning or being introduced. It kind of reminds me of, I heard that George Lucas's favorite scene was Luke standing out looking at the two sunsets.
With the binary. Yeah.
And just that it's your scenes are like feeling scenes. You know, it's just a feeling that you get when you see those characters and you connect with those characters.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. I think I mean, but that's kind of the cool part of Star Wars is that there's so many different moments that you could pick from.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's tons.
Tons.
There's endless. And that's why I think those are the ones that just really kind of connect with me on that, like, Star Wars-y level for sure.
Yeah.
So,
I almost feel like Star Wars was like made for me. That's why I think I love it so much.
Right, no, I agree.
But that's why I'm like, my God, this
as a fan,
a fan, like as a kid, it was just this something that was so huge but seemed so real to you at the same time. And then as you got older, you realized that there were like little nuggets of wisdom in there and
deeper meaning.
Yeah,
themes. Yeah. That's why I think that's why I think Star Wars is my favorite franchise. Like, I love Marvel. I'm not gonna like Marvel's awesome, but Star Wars, there's just something about Star Wars where it's the deeper themes, the deeper meanings when you do get older, like you're saying, and you go from being this young kid just looking at the screen like lightsabers and blasters, but then you start rewatching them and you see them from a different perspective when you get older, and you're like, oh wow, there's like some really deep, like you're saying, wisdom and themes in there that you just don't pick up when you were a kid.
I have one more scene.
Oh, what's your scene? Let's go for it.
Are we out of time?
No, we're totally on time.
Oh my God.
We're totally on time.
One of my favorite combinations of characters is Luke and Yoda.
Ooh.
Luke by himself, I'm not too thrilled about. I mean, I don't mind. Haters, I don't know if people want to get mad at me for that. What did you say? Don't at me?
Don't at me. Yeah. Don't at me.
Which is funny because when I was a kid, I loved Luke Skywalker because he was the hero.
Yep. Yep.
But as I got older, the combination of Yoda and Luke Skywalker in The Empire Strikes Back, for
Dagobah.
example, when they're on Dagobah and, Yoda's kind of playing them in the beginning and it's comic, you can see like this comic-y, way of Yoda that you never get to see, never have ever seen in any of the movies, any of the shows,
prior to,
anything like that.
Yeah.
Prior to, even after.
Yeah.
And, well, except for one scene, I'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
But, the idea of like student and teacher and like mentor and apprentice, I like the combinations of those, of like always teaching and always remaining teachable and all that stuff. So when in The Last Jedi, when Luke and Yoda see each other again and Yoda kind of plays them again, is laughing at them and, sends the lightning down at that tree and is like, oh, Skywalker missed you.
Yeah.
I love that, because that's what it was all about. Like, Luke really didn't know what he was doing ever. And that was something Yoda had to bring him back to that perspective. Yeah. He did it in The Empire Strikes Back, and now he did it in The Last Jedi. And I feel like that was like a gem of a scene.
Yep.
And they used the original Yoda.
Oh, that was cool.
That was super cool because the Yodas in the prequels were kind of weird. But, But yeah, I love the combination of those two together. I love the scenes when they're together. They're just so much stronger than them by themselves.
Yeah, no, I agree. I like the when they're together, it's better. Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Little backpack Yoda.
Little backpack Yoda.
I like that too.
It's a good one. All right, I think that's it for our first episode of GALactic Podcast. That was fun.
Yeah.
We're doing it again.
I feel great. I hope you enjoyed it. I did.
Yeah, I did too. I hope you guys enjoyed our conversation.
If you didn't, come back for more.
Yeah, we'll waver around through this, but yeah, follow. So we are on Twitter at the GALactic Pod is our Twitter handle. You can follow me at Loro Knows, and we were trying to set up Ange.
Yeah, I'm trying to get set up.
We're gonna get her set up on Twitter, so you guys can follow her as well. So yeah, thanks for listening. May the
force be with you.
May the force be with you. Share, like our podcast. We're gonna try to get it on Apple is the goal. We're gonna try to get it on YouTube and another website. So. Stay tuned to that. We'll give links and everything to you guys. So may the force be with you always.